The medical wing of the frontier station drifted in quiet rhythm around a pale blue star. Soft lights hummed along the ceilings, and every console pulsed with calm indicators. The station was usually peaceful, designed for diplomats and explorers, not for emergencies. Yet on that day, alarms rang through the corridors, and the heavy doors burst open as a group of patrol crew carried in a tall human, who looked more exhausted than injured. His name was Hale. He walked under his own power, though his legs shook with every step. The guards insisted he needed immediate care, and they supported him. But Hale kept telling them he was fine. The chief medic of the station stepped forward and froze in disbelief. The medic was called Rin Rins. Species had deep green skin and a crest of silver tendrils that shifted with emotion. Those tendrils rose straight in alarm when Rin's scanners lit up the moment they passed over Hale's body. The readings made no sense. The human had 17 distinct fractures, 3 deep contusions, and a displaced wrist joint. Yet Hale stood there as if he had simply finished a long day of work. Rin stared at him. "You should be unconscious. You should be unable to move. How are you still standing?" Hale shrugged. "Had worse. Just need a seat and something warm to drink." Rin almost dropped the scanner. The other medics gathered around, trying to understand how a being with so much internal damage could maintain balance, much less speak clearly. Humans were known for resilience, but this exceeded anything they expected. Rin gestured for Hale to sit on the examination table. But the man sat down slowly, only after insisting the patrol crew did not need to fuss. As Rin began the deeper scans, the room fell silent. The images projected above the table showed the truth. Hale's ribs had hairline cracks in nearly half their structure. One of his legs carried a spiral fracture that should have caused unbearable pain. His left shoulder had a break from an impact so strong that most species would require emergency stabilization. Rin looked at Hale with growing concern. "What happened to you?" Rin asked. "Patrol picked up your distress marker near the outer debris field. Your vessel was half torn apart. Did something attack you?" Hale nodded slowly. "A mining drone went rogue. Didn't like me telling it to power. Down got thrown into a bulkhead when it surged again. It's all sorted now." Rin blinked. "You had 17 broken bones from that, and you just sorted." Hale gave a half smile. "Had to survive long enough to call for help. Simple as that." Rin had treated warriors from a dozen worlds, some with natural armor, some with regenerative abilities, some with pain suppression capacities. None had ever behaved like this. Hale's heart rate barely rose during the examination. When Rin pressed along the fractured ribs, Hale didn't even wince. Rin's tendrils rippled with disbelief. One of the junior medics whispered to another, "How can he be awake? Does his species not feel pain?" Hale overheard, "We feel it. Pain just doesn't get to choose what I do." That line unsettled the entire staff. It was not said with arrogance. It was said as if it were simply a fact of life for a human. Rin continued the examination while trying to hide growing awe. Hale answered questions calmly. He kept his posture straight, even though every movement should have caused agony. Rin finally administered a mild stabilizer. It was meant to help relax muscles around fractures. Humans typically reacted instantly to it. But Hale barely blinked. Rin frowned. "You should be feeling at least some relief. Do you not sense the medication?" Hale shook his head. "I'll be fine. You can skip the heavy stuff. I don't want my thoughts foggy." Rin hesitated. It was standard procedure to treat injuries that severe with strong sedatives. But Hale clearly did not want them. Rin adjusted the treatment plan carefully. The human body was impressively tolerant, but too much medication could stress it in ways even humans could not handle. The room's analyzer chimed and projected a full skeletal map. The fractures glowed in a deep red arc around Hale's body. The pattern told Rin something important. He had not simply been thrown once. He had been thrown multiple times. He had hit surfaces hard enough to damage a vessel reinforced with alloy plating. Rin studied the map carefully. You said you were thrown once, but the fractures suggest repeated impacts. How many times did the drone strike you? Hale tilted his head. 3 times, maybe 4. Hard to remember. Was trying to stay conscious long enough to override its controls. Rin's expression tightened. You kept working while your bones were breaking. Hale nodded. You don't stop when your life depends on finishing the job. The patrol crew behind them shifted nervously. They had seen humans perform impressive feats before. But this was something else. Rin felt a kind of cautious admiration growing. There was something undeniable about Hale's determination. Rin began setting the fractures. Even this procedure, done with advanced medical beams that minimized discomfort, usually caused involuntary reactions. Hale simply stayed still. His breathing never changed. Rin spoke softly. Your body shows signs of long-term stress, scars old enough to mark years of hardship. Have you lived like this often? Hale gave a simple nod. Humans build lives where they can. Sometimes that means taking hits and standing up again. Rin had no reply. The sincerity in Hale's voice carried a weight that needed no elaboration. As repairs continued, Rin asked about the mining drone. Hale described how the drone malfunctioned and how he attempted to shut it down manually. The machine had lost stabilizers and swung its arms. Unpredictably, Hale had crawled under collapsing beams. He had shielded the drone's power core with his own body so its surge would not ignite the engine room. Rin listened carefully. You protected the vessel even while injured. Why not abandon ship? Hale shrugged. It wasn't the vessel's fault. Besides, if the core went up, anyone nearby would suffer. I figured I could hold out long enough to keep it contained. Rin could not hide shock. You held a failing power core with multiple fractures. Without calling for help sooner? Hale answered. Didn't want someone else getting hurt? Trying to rescue me before the danger was contained. A quiet settled over the room. No one knew what to say. Rin finally whispered. You risked everything to protect others, even when you were badly hurt. Your people truly are different. Hale's smile was tired, but genuine. We do what we can. When the last fracture was aligned and reinforced, Rin stepped back. You will need to stay under observation for 2 days. Bones this damaged take time to stabilize even with our technology. Hale shook his head. I have work to finish once the patrol retrieves my ship. Rin nearly protested. That is not advisable. Your body requires rest. Your injuries may worsen. You might collapse again. Hale simply said, I won't collapse. I only need a few hours. Rin stared at him. You have 17 broken bones, and you want to go back to work in a few hours. Hale nodded. Someone has to fix the drone. Can't leave it like that on the station. The medics exchanged glances. Their species valued caution. Most would remain in bed for weeks with far fewer injuries. But humans were strange. Their determination could overpower even their pain responses. Rin exhaled slowly. I will not release you early, but I will allow light. Duties tomorrow if your readings stabilize. This is the best compromise I can offer. Hale agreed with a nod. That works. The patrol crew left. Shaking their heads in disbelief, Rin remained with Hale, documenting readings and trying to understand more about human physiology. Hale rested against the inclined table. Watching the star outside the window, Rin approached him carefully. Do humans train for this, to ignore pain so thoroughly? Hale answered without pride. Not ignore, just push past. Sometimes the body hurts. Sometimes life hurts. But you keep going. If you stop when it hurts, you never reach anything worth reaching. Rin listened. Those words carried a truth that resonated beyond species. Rin's tendrils lowered in quiet respect hours. Passed and Rin checked Hale's vitals. To Rin's amazement, some fractures were already beginning to show early signs of healing. Human biology responded quickly to aligned bones, especially under stabilizers. Hale's breathing remained calm. His heart rate was steady. He seemed ready to walk out, despite everything he endured, when Rin returned with updated data. Hale looked up. Everything good. Rin nodded slowly. Better than expected. You are recovering at a speed that defies the models. How can a body endure so much damage, yet repair so fast? Hale chuckled softly. Humans didn't get far in the galaxy by being fragile. Rin studied him. You faced a malfunctioning machine. You fought through multiple impacts. You held a dangerous power core. You risked your life for others, and you did not panic. Why? Hale considered the question. I figured if I panicked, I would die, so I didn't. Sometimes it's that simple. Rin stared at him for a long moment. It was difficult to accept that the galaxy's most adaptable newcomers acted on instinct forged through hardship and persistence. Rin finally said, You are extraordinary. Your species continues to surprise us. You endure what should break you. You act when others freeze. You protect even when injured. This is why humans are changing the balance of the frontier. Hale gave a small nod. We try our best. That's all. Rin appreciated the modesty. Many species would boast. Humans rarely did. They simply performed and moved on the station, dimmed its lights to simulate night. Rin assigned a monitoring drone to stay near Hal. Despite the injuries, Hal soon drifted into a light sleep. Even then, the drone detected faint tension in his muscles, as if his body remained ready for trouble. Rin observed from a distance, trying to understand how a being so damaged could maintain awareness. It was another mystery to add to the